Hi everyone, in this video we are going to learn how to multiply sets of this form. Right, we want to remove brackets and simplify. Right, this one, just like in algebra, this 2 is multiplying everything in the brackets, so we are just removing brackets and simplifying. Right, so this 2 will multiply this 3. The same 2 will also multiply this root 2 will multiply this 3. The same root 2 will also multiply this root 2. Right, like this. 3 times root 2, you get 3 root 2. Root 2 times root 2, get 2. Right, let's move on to our second example. We are only going to do 2 examples only. This is a very simple task. Right, in this case, just like in algebra, this means 2 minus root 5 is multiplying everything in these brackets, or 3 plus root 5, everything in these brackets, in the first brackets, is multiplying everything in the second brackets. So we are saying this 2 is multiplying the whole of this bracket. Minus root 5 is also multiplying the whole of this bracket. So we can rewrite that expression where these 2 will be multiplying 3 root 5, these 2 multiplying everything in these brackets, right? Minus root 5, this minus root 5, multiplying everything in the second brackets, like this. Then just like in algebra, we are now removing brackets. This 2 is multiplying everything in these brackets. So 2 by 3, we get 6. 2 by root 5, we get 2 root 5. Minus root 5 by 3, we get minus 3 root 5. Minus root 5 by root 5, we get minus 5. Then let's collect like terms and simplify. We can see that 6 is a like term of minus 5. So 6 minus 5 is 1. So if we simplify these integers, we get 1. Then we have 2 root 5 minus 3 root 5. This simplifies to minus root 5. So our answer is 1 minus root 5. It's simple as this. Right, and then straight away, let's move on to a conjugate of a number given in said form. Right, given a number like this one, the conjugate is just a number similar to this but with a different sign here. Suppose we are talking of this number 1 minus root 5. The conjugate of 1 minus root 5 is 1 plus root 5. It is a number similar to this but having a different sign here. That's the conjugate of 1 plus root 5. Right, now let's find the conjugate of each of the following. Right, we have 2 minus root 3. We just change this sign, so the conjugate of this one is 2 plus root 3, sorry. It is now plus, we just change this sign, it is now the conjugate of 2 minus root 3. The reverse is true. Given 2 plus root 3, the conjugate of 2 plus root 3 is 2 minus root 3. So this one is a conjugate of this one. At the same time, this one is a conjugate of this one. Right? Example 2, root 3 plus root 5. We just change this sign. And the conjugate is now root 3 minus root 5. We just change this sign. This is now the conjugate of this one, right? The next example is 5 plus 2 root 7, the conjugate of this one. Don't worry about this two, just change this sign only. Just change this sign. It's now 2 minus 5 minus 2 root 7, sorry. 5 minus 2 root 7 is the conjugate. Right. Now, want to come up with a very important result here. Let's multiply a number by its conjugate. All right. For example, let's multiply 2 minus root 2 by its conjugate. We are now able to find the conjugate of this one. We are now very sure that the conjugate of this one is 2 plus root 2. Right. So let's multiply the 2. Just like in algebra, everything in these brackets is multiplying everything in these brackets. So this 2 is multiplying everything in these brackets like this. This 2 is multiplying everything in this 2. This 2 is multiplying everything in the first brackets like this. Then this positive root 2, this positive root 2 is multiplying everything in these first brackets. Now let's remove the brackets as usual. 2 by 2, 4, 2 by negative root 2, minus 2 root 2. 2 by root 2, 2 root 2. Root 2 by negative root 2, we get negative 2. Right, and then let's simplify these two. Root 2 root 2 minus 2 root 2, 0. So we remain with 4 minus 2, and this simplifies to 2. Right, done with this first example here. Let's move on to the next example. Let's multiply this one by its conjugate. We are now very sure that the conjugate of this one is 3 plus root 5. So removing brackets as usual. Let's simplify here. 3 by 3, 9. 3 by negative root 5 is minus 3 root 5. Root 5 by 3, 3 root 5. Root 5 by negative root 5, we get negative 5. Right? As we can see here, minus 3 root 5 plus 3 root 5 gives us 0. So we remain with 9 minus 5. And 9 minus 5 simplifies to 4. This is our answer. As you can see from these two examples, we are seeing that multiplying an irrational number by its conjugate, this irrational number by its conjugate is giving us an integer. This number by its conjugate, we are getting this integer as well. And in this case, it is always the case that these central terms will disappear. Alright, so I want to draw a very important result. So I want to draw a very important conclusion here. Right. From these first two examples, you can see that we are simply squaring the first number minus the second number. If you look at that closely, you can see that it is this number squared minus this one squared, and this is 4 minus 2, which simplifies to 2, right? The second example as well, it is 3 squared. You can take any 3 squared minus, it is always minus here. It is always minus. Please note that it is always minus here. Whether you are taking this one with a positive here or you are taking this one with a negative here, it is always minus here. Right, this simplifies to 4. Right, now I want us to use that very important. Okay, let's summarize it. That a minus root b by its conjugate simplifies to a squared minus the square root of b squared. Now we can also see that this one was derived from the difference of two squares. This is the difference of two squares. It's like we are expanding these two. When factorizing an expression of this form, we do it this way, difference of two squares. So when expanding this one, it will give us this one. All right, so it was also derived from the difference of two squares, factorization of difference of two squares. Right, now I want to use this important result to simplify this. It is very easy, very easy. It is this one squared, the square root of root 3 squared minus the square root of root 2 squared. Please note that it is minus. Don't confuse that minus and this plus. This plus is no effect. Right, so it is this one squared minus this one squared, like this, and this simplifies to 3 minus 2, which is 1. Now, try this. You can pause the video for a moment, then get the answers. Here are the answers. Please don't forget to subscribe, like, and share our videos. Also like our Facebook page, Dark Tech Tutorials.